Okay, this is a brief tutorial for Photoshop Elements Editor. I'm going to try to show how to arrange the workspace so that the working panels are readily available and can be customized. So first of all, I'm going to the Window menu and I'm going to reset the panels. And so this should be how the default screen looks when you first start the editor. I have a layered panel on the screen in the editing space, and you will see that in the lower right the layers panel is the one that is active. Now down here in the lower right there are panels that can be selected and opened. The effects panel, the filters panel, the styles panel, and the graphics panel. Now the problem with this is that you have to have each one open by itself. So you cannot have the layers panel open and also the filters panel. So for those of you who want to have more panels open at a single time, we have to go to the More button, and first of all what you will see are some additional panels that are available. For example, the histogram. If I click on that, a panel will open, freely movable, and we could have that open along with whatever's on the right hand side. I don't want to do that now, so I'm going to close this. Again, we are in the basic workspace of Elements Editor, and there are actually a total of, I think, 13 panels. We have the 5 panels down here, and the 8 other panels, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. So there are a total of 13 panels on this available, not counting the tool panel on the left. So to have more than one panel open, such as the layers, the styles, or the graphics panel open together, what we need to do is put it into a custom workspace. So again, we click on this little arrow to the side of the More button, and we go to Custom Workspace. And what you will see is that we have now lost all of the other buttons in the tool bin down the bottom. Instead, we see layers, the same layers at the top: the layers, effects, filters, styles, and graphics. Now, those will all remain in this area, and you would think you can only have one open at a time still, but no. What we can do is click a tab, for example, the graphics, and we can drag it off that top menu, and we can either put it to the side and it will dock on the side, or we can click this tab again, the graphics tab, and put it down the bottom. And now we see that the layers and the graphics panel are all in sync on the right hand, and you can see both. We can change the size of these panels by hovering over the line between the two panels, and you will see that the cursor has changed to a double arrow. And if I click and drag, I can resize that up into the layers panel. This will still allow me to move the layers panel if there were more. Let me just make this smaller. So I have covered over some of those panels, but I can then use a scroll bar to have the panels available on the right. I can also hover on the side panel, side of a sidebar, and I can make the panels wider. So let's try that again with the styles at the top, and I click and drag, I put it down to the bottom, and now I have the styles and the graphics. I can rearrange those graphics and styles. So that's the basic way to customize the main panels that I use. However, if you want to use other panels, what you do is go to the Window menu, and for example, you can have the histogram, and this will open the freestanding panel. And I can again click and drag from that and put it into the main right side panel. Close that using the X, and that's the way to, well, I see I grouped the histogram with the graphics panel, so I don't want to do that. I want to make it by itself. So now just drag and click so that the blue line covers the entire menu panel, and there we go. So now I have the layers panel, the histogram, the graphics, and the styles all open together, and I can access them all freely from there. Here I'm in the graphics panel, and I can use my mouse to scroll up and down, or I can use the scroll bar at the side. Now we could, if you don't like it on the right panel, we could grab the whole layers tab at the top, and we can drag that off, and we can then move all the others totally off and dock them with that panel. There. Now we can move these freely around the screen and put them whichever side we want, resize them. Too close to the toolbar, so there we go. Hover over. I guess that's as wide as I can get it using this method. Yes, that's as wide as it will go as a separate panel. If I want to just have that showing and not the ones that I've left on the side, go to the Window menu. I'm going to turn off the filters, and so now that has disappeared over that side. So there we have it. Hope you find that helpful, and that's the end of the tutorial.